Hello and welcome back. I said I was going to have to do a bit of a clean up on some of my transcontinental wagons, so I've got a few out. Two of these have boxes, R.55 cement wagon. I've got two with Mark II couplings and two with the Mark IIIs. So I think we'll have a mixture of those. I've got the wheels out of 3 sets, so they're all sort of soaking away in water. I've got that bit of blue tack in there because last time I was using this wagon, I was using it to keep that arm from catching on something. So they're in reasonably good condition. So, 3 of them, one of them is quite worn. Let's have a look at this one here, which I haven't got the wheels out of yet. So decals are quite nice on the sides of that one, but the wheels are in terrible condition. I think one of them, it looks, I'm uncertain whether one of them is actually, let's get this one put down a little bit more here. Let's just rotate that around. It's partially got the axle out of that one. I know one of them looks really like it might have split, or I might have mistaken it for one of the other ones. Let's have a look. There, that one, I think. Is that one? I can't work out whether that's a split in the wheel or whether that's just, it's so dirty. But anyway, we'll get the rest of those out. But this one has seen quite a lot of action. It's missing some steps on the side. It's got them there, and it's missing one on that side as well. So it's definitely been through the wars, this one. The roof's quite nice. The plastics are a bit sticky, so these are going to benefit from a wash. And then I had this. I got these from a bunch of things that I got a little while ago, and I've just put them in a box and forgotten about them. So I think the motor needs a little bit of encouragement to come back to life, and the skirt or the pilot, you know, that's got a chip, or it's been bashed, and it just needs either I'm going to glue that back together or I'm going to replace it. I've got a 3D printed one I bought quite some time ago. So just as some spares, but I think maybe we'll try and encourage that one back into position. So that came with a bunch of stuff a little while ago. And this unit here, Dave Atkins, when he visited me from Canada, I can't remember this, a year or more ago, he brought this over and gave it to me. I've never got around to giving this a clean up, so we'll get the wheels out of that and give that a bit of a clean up, and I think we'll just have this group of items. I've got a caboose already out on the railway, another TC caboose. So this one's in quite nice condition, an unboxed one, but it's got its original chimney, and this is one I've cleaned up in the past. So this is already quite a nice runner. It's ready to go. This is one of the few TC items that I have already cleaned up. So we'll pop that one down there. So the other TC caboose that's on the with the Pacific there, we've got it on the end there. We saw that running before. So we'll try and get these 2 trains. But I think this will look good with the cement wagons and this diesel. This R.55 diesel. I think this will look good when it gets up and running. But that it's lost all of its decals on the front. So I'm going to recreate those and see if we can make some improvements there. A number of days have elapsed since I shot the last bit of video, so I've got all of the wheels cleaned. They're going to be in fairly good shape, I think, apart from one. Let's have a look at that and see what sort of condition we're in there. So they've cleaned up quite nicely. They're all much of a muchness. I remember I was looking at one, let's randomly, let's look at that there. So they're all going to be quite nice. So there was one I was looking at, and I was saying I didn't know whether it was a crack or whether it was dirt. It's this one here. And it was a crack in the plastic. The plastic has just, I think that must have been malformed out of the mould, and it's just sat that way. The rim or the surface edge, there must have been an impurity or fault in the plastic, so that's come away. So I've seen it once before on another old wheel, but yeah, so we've got to find a replacement for that. So given the roofs a good clean, So they've all been cleaned, so they're no longer all sorts of sticky and grubby. So they've all come up quite nicely. I haven't done the bodies of the wagons yet, and I've not had a look at the motor, but we have had this apart, and we've got that all cleaned up. Now, what I didn't notice when I was looking at that was the bogie on one end of it had a crack in it. So I've got that glued up at the moment, so I didn't notice that when I was initially looking at it. So if you look back at the earlier piece of video, you'll see there was a crack. Let's have a look in there. So there was a crack there. So I've just got that glued up. Actually, it wasn't just a crack there. It extended. There was a fracture in that part as well. So it was fractured here and all the way across there. That's loose. That's been there an hour or so now. Ooh. Let's just take that off and see if that stays in place. So it looks quite encouraging at the moment. And we'll leave the other bit because I'm not in a hurry for that. I've got the wheels out on this end and cleaned them back in, so they're all they move really, really nicely. And the pilot or skirt from the front of the R.55 diesel, which had a partial crack in it, it hasn't cracked all the way through. So you can see a stress mark on the back, but it hadn't broken all the way. So I haven't broken it all the way off, but I have floated some glue into the crack. I don't know whether how far in there we can see. And I've just got that clamped as well. That's been in there an hour or so as well. So I'm going to leave that for the rest of the day. And we'll come back to that. But I'm quite pleased with that. I'm fairly confident that's going to stay together enough for the purposes that I'm going to need the model for. So we'll just have a look back over here. So I had a go at the decals, or recreation of the decals on front of the single-ended diesel. Let's just grab that and have a look over that. So there we go. So that's my recreation. That's just made. You can see the electrical tape in the background. I'll use yellow sections of that. So that's all by eye. And that's a copy just printed on the regular paper and knifed out, but I have varnished the paper so it has a slightly deeper shine to it. But I think from arm's length sitting on the railway, that's going to be quite a nice thing. Certainly, yeah, it works for me. What else? Yeah, so where else are we here? We've got bits of that left over. The motor is going to need a little bit of a clean up. That runs, but it's dry and rough. You can see it's all dry and rough. So I'm going to get that sort of sorted out now. We're Friday morning now. I've got to go off to work, so I'm going to get the afternoon off this afternoon, and I'll be able to spend some time with that. So we've got that bit cleaned up as well. So I had the wheels out of that and back in, and they're all nice as well. Let's just have a quick look at those run. So too many wheels for this project, so it's taken a huge amount of time. So they're all going to be really nice. We'll get those into action. And a bulb. So I need to come up with a bulb. I've got some sort of modern reproductions of those hiding away, but I think we'll just get one of those in there. I'm not sure whether we want to go to the time of putting an LED in there. I'm not sure whether my hours available this week are going to allow me to do that. So I've got the motor all cleaned up. I just spent the last hour or so playing with that. I'm quite pleased with that, although the brushes, being a completely new set, are sort of a little bit larger than the ones that came out of it. But I think they'll wear in or bed in quite nicely. They seem to be working relatively well. Let's see if we can get in reasonably tight in there. That moves a bit quicker than I wanted it to. You can see that sort of cog and drive gear there. Let's see if we can encourage that the other way. So it makes quite a nice sound. Let's just come this side of it. I'm running out of it. I've got the cable stretched around there. I can't get any further this way. So let's just go a little bit more that way. There we go. There's the the other unit I've got all set up there. So it doesn't have any trouble with that really at all. Slightly different sound either way. You can see the bulb glowing away there, but ideally there'll be enough sort of light spread in there to light up the numbers in the side of the cab. I'm just going to put the controls down now. We'll have a quick look at the brushes that came out of it. Let's find a spot for that to go there. I'll just undo that and we'll have a quick look at this. We've got the wheels all the way back in here now. That's all glued back together quite nicely. Seems to be doing the trick. That all looks good. And the pilot or skirt from the end of there is all ready to go. We'll just have a quick look at it in a second. Let's have a swift look over that. There's those brand new brushes. I think those are Peter Spares ones. Got a good handful of those. Give the wheels a clean. Use the wire brush on the rotary tool to clean those up. So it all seems to be running quite nice. There's a bulb I had lying around it that seems to do the trick. But you need a little bit of light spread. We'll just have a look at the bodywork. Hang on, let's get that down. And see if we can leave it in a sensible position where I'm not going to short everything out next time I turn on the power. So let's just grab that. So you see the numbers on the cab sides there. They illuminate a little bit as well. I think with an LED it's very, very, very directional. There's not much sort of spillage of light, although we will get some spillage of light on this down to the tracks, I seem to remember. Let's pop that over there in a place of safety. And then we'll have a swift look at these brushes that came out of here. So incredibly worn. Look at the angle. Ooh, can we see the angle of those? So not really a great deal left on those, even if you sort of reshape them. And the other one is very, very similar, if not slightly more wear on that side. So probably definitely time for a bit of a change on those ones. That's what I forgot to show in the other one when I was talking about the decals. I found an old photograph online of these, and I think this is of a hand painted decal. So I just printed those out at the right size. I'll just put a bit of nail varnish on there just to deepen the colour, because the colour isn't quite as deep as that when you see. You can see where the nail varnish has gone over the yellow. It just sort of deepens it a little bit, and it's a little bit sort of washed out without that. So ideally, some better decals will show up at some time where somebody gets around to working out how to make water slide on transparent background with coloured parts would be really the thing. So this will come off the locomotive. This is just on with Prit when I put on there, but still got to get those done. But Friday evening's marching on now, and it's time to go and have dinner, I think, and relax for the evening. That's the pilot, and we had that in the crocodile clip, or the clip earlier on, and that's all gone back together. I think that's going to stay in position. I've just used, rocket card glue. I did that up this morning, about 7:30 this morning. I left it all clamped up along with the bogie, and I think we're going to be in good shape there. But what I'm going to do is the side that wasn't cracked, I'm going to warm it up a little bit before I sort of encourage it back onto the bogie. Hope you enjoyed that bit of footage. Again, that's quite good fun to make. It takes quite a while though. So let's just follow this around a little bit. And what I did do is I changed those brushes back over to the original ones actually. They were causing me a problem with the change of direction. They seemed to keep sticking when I wanted to go in reverse, so I put the old ones on. I'm going to have to take some meat off those, or carbon as it is, off those ones, and then refit them, I think. But these seem to be working for now. So we'll just follow that around one more time. Now I've got a catalogue out. Whoops! We could just. I thought I was losing sight of the whole thing there. So let's do that one more time. I've got a catalogue out, 1956 one. We'll have a look at some of these items in it. Have a look at those cement wagons. The caboose on the end. Slightly later variant than the one we were looking at in the video with the Pacific. And one of those cement wagons we did have to put some spacer washers, because it just kept derailing, and I have used the drinking straw trick in these Mark II couplings to keep them all together, although we're just working with crossed fingers where we've gone Mark II to Mark III. I'm going to step back here and grab the controls. And gently stop that there. It makes a lovely noise, this model. So we'll just pop that controls down here. We'll just get some numbers, and because I've got all this hooked up with drinking straws and things, I'm not going to pull these models off the rails for now. So we have the drive unit, or the A unit, R.55. Sort of variations of this from 55 to 64, and then there were sort of other variants for the Canadian market, I think, and possibly the Australian market beyond that. But in 57, I think it got a red cab. If you have a look at the insert picture, they turned the cab red. So I think probably to try and hide some of the marking in the plastic. If you look at the marks near the horns there, it's quite severe on some of these. And I think possibly we got a mismatch in colours of this band here is more red and this one's more maroon. And I think that I haven't got the windows in these either, so they should have little plastic inserts, and they're all long gone. So 55 to 64 for the drive unit there, and then the B unit, I think probably the same time period. And then we've got the cement wagon. So they are R137, 58 to 65. Got a handful of those as we saw on the bench. And then we've got the caboose there. This is like the one we had with the Pacific a video or so back, although it's got Mark III couplings. So that's our 115, again in this livery, 54 to 65, and Canadian variants available for a different period. So there we've got the Pacific sitting there. Zoom along there, and we've got one with the Mark II couplings in there. So we'll leave that one alone. Let's jump over to this catalogue. Oh, and there was a dummy. The drive unit was R57, I think, the dummy unit of that. I haven't got one of those on the railway today, but I think we've seen those in the past. So here we've got the 56 catalogue. It says second edition here. I'm standing on the floor in exactly the wrong part at the moment. A great green princess here. And now we've got the locomotive in question there, storming away. We won't spend too long with this, but we'll just jump over to the relevant pages. So quite a small catalogue compared to today's catalogues. This is more of a pamphlet. So I'm just going to swiftly move on through these pages to the TC items. Well, that's a stunning page, that, isn't it? It really is quite terrific. We've got a standard track there. Here we go. And we've got the Pacific locomotive here as well. Has that got the... Yeah, that's still got that. Actually, no, it's got a coupling on the front, hasn't it? So it's illustrating a possible change in the model compared to the one that we've got. Let's get that white pad out of the way. So that one I had there with acetate body, and we've got the cowcatcher moulded into the front and no coupling. Lovely model that. Right, here we go. Here we've got the R.55 diesel loco, and underneath we've got R.57 dummy, non-powered, so same item but with no power bogie in it. And then we've got R.58 the B unit, also non-powered, so we could put a powered chassis in there, of course. I know we could have it set up like that, but I thought for a change we'd have it set up like that. I know we've got the tank locomotive there, haven't we? So I've got that on the railway. We'll give that a run in a moment. So I'm not sure whether the cement wagon shows up in here. I may have selected the wrong catalogue, but we've got a hopper wagon. And these coaches, we've had these out before. We're going to have to get those out again in the very near future, I think. We've got a box wagon. We've seen one of those. Oh, caboose. There we go. Let's have a look at the caboose. R.115. It's all wonderfully simple, these illustrations and things down on the bottom of the pages. Girder bridge, turntable, various supports, engine sheds and signals. I think we're on to the last page there. I know we've got track layouts and so on. So we'll pop that catalogue away and we'll encourage this cement train over to the station. So let's go power on that. A little bit of wheel spin there. So you've got to get it running quite quick for that lamp to show up. So we saw it on the rails without the body on, but maybe I will. This is possibly not the best place to stop that, but maybe I will get a LED sorted out for that over the next week or so. Let's see, because there's plenty of room to get it in there. But we're only barely getting glimpses of it running at this speed, so I just need to change a couple of points. I think we'll go with this one. So we'll make that one straight, and then we'll go for the one at the far end of the station. Also make that one straight. And that should make the tank locomotive move away there. Been sitting there a few days now. Quite lively. I think these coaches are much lighter, much freer running than those old cement wagons. So around it comes. There we go. I wonder whether I'll encourage that onto the inside line and we'll keep the cement train, or whether should we bring the cement train onto the inside line. I think possibly the cement train on the inside line. Let's play with the points again. So I'm just reaching over for these. We'll go there and there. And it's this side. Total moment of disorientation there, so it's probably asking a lot of all those bogies on those cement wagons to work through these points, but we'll give it a go. So it's that one and that one, I think. There we go. So we're still as one railway, or we are as one railway, not still as one railway. I've had it as one railway for the last few days. So let's see if we can get that to move away. Yeah, I thought we were stuck on the large plastic frog in the point there, but we seem to have got away with that. So let's listen out for derailments. We'll take the edge off the power here, I think. I've just noticed my mistake. So I'm going to back up there. Whoops. Yeah. I've got myself into a bad position here. So I'm just going to intervene a little bit. So I think the friction of it there, will that be enough to go? There we go. That's the mistake. I don't think we'll run right around the back with this. So we'll make that straight. And I have an idea. The last time I was playing with this, I had this one open over here. So I need to make that one go curved. So we'll keep that cement train wholly on the inner line. So we'll pan back round to it. We'll come up the front there and see if we can see if we've got any light in the front there. See if we can get the power up. So that's quite a burst of power, but not really showing. I'm going to split it into two railways now, and we'll just finish off with a little bit of double running. So we'll go back to the points over here. So we'll make that one straight, and then we'll separate the railway, other side of the controller on, and these ones. So we'll go straight and straight. And I think I'm going to change that over so we have the handheld on the inside line, and we'll trust that the outside line will run quite nicely on there. We'll just set that running. And then we'll get the cement train underway. Quite a lot of friction in those tight curves. So we'll just pop the controls down there for a moment. Just have a quick look at this one as we're going through. So I think I'll have to put in some time and get some more of these TC items sorted out. Let's have a closer look at the couplings there. You can see where I've used the drinking straw between them. You can hear a little bit of jumping around going on there. The odd click. There we've got the connection. We've got Mark III couplings there, and I think is that the one where we change between 3 to 2? I think it is. Let's step back and get both trains in the shot again. Yeah, I think we'll see if we can go for an LED and get a nice bright lamp on the front there in the coming week or so. So I don't think we're getting a great deal of light spread out of that for those cab side numbers. There's a tank locomotive coming around in the distance there. Storming round, that's definitely picked up a little bit of speed. And we'll just catch this cement train one more time. But thanks again for looking in. Hugely appreciated. If you look back again next time, we'll have something else interesting to look at. Goodbye now.